What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great Tuesday after that 28-7 loss to the Chiefs. Not going to lie, it's been rough. Last night was rough. Today was rough, knowing that this team sucks and that we're not where we want to be, but injuries have ultimately derailed that. This season just feels like it's not in the cards, but we're going to talk about the ugly truth that was last night, go into more detail about that game. We're also going to talk about how I think we're still in the same spot, right? Nothing changed after last night because we knew we were going to lose last night, and I've already factored in that loss from last night to all my scenarios on how we can still try to make a push at the playoffs, so I'm not really worried, right? Well, I'm worried, but we didn't have to win that game. Make sure y'all smash the like button. Make sure y'all click that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let's get to 3,000 subscribers. Also, hit the notification bell as well. So, let's talk about the loss first. Obviously, 7-7 at halftime. Why this loss was so painful is because it was that close at halftime. If they came out of the gates and it was 28-0, I would have been like, okay, we knew we were going to lose. We knew we were going to get humbled. But it was 7-7 at halftime. And when you see Joe Witt Jr. go man the whole game and then switch to zone at halftime, I don't understand. It was working what you were doing at halftime. Now, granted, you probably had to throw something new at them because they're going to adjust as well. But you should have stayed in what you were doing. Okay, that's one thing that bugs me. The team did not look the same the second half. They didn't come out with energy the second half. There was injuries in the second half. It was really, really bad to watch that second half, and we just got depleted. We held up as long as we could. I'm proud of the team for trying. I'm proud of the team for everything. We held up as long as we possibly could, and then we let go because we just couldn't hang on. We couldn't hang on to the rope anymore. Couldn't do it. Right? So, it was 7-7 at halftime. That's the part that really hurts me, is that we had a chance. And if you win this game, again, I told y'all, if you won that game, that's the type of win that galvanizes the season. And so, if you get that type of win, it would be electric. And that would feel like a win from last year, how good last year was. But it's just not last year, guys. This team is just not very good this year. It's an old roster. It's guys that are incompetent. It's undisciplined football. All things that I've said the past few weeks, and we have lost 3 games in a row. This sucks. It really does suck. At one point, we were 3-2 in this season. We thought that we were the same Commanders from last year. We could do something in the playoffs, but it just feels like this year is going to be a wash, and we'll have to reset next year, make a lot of different moves. So last night was very humbling to lose to the Chiefs, but again, it's nothing that you didn't expect. So now let's get into the playoff scenario. Listen, I've been saying this. We have to win 1 out of the next 3 games. The 3 games being the Chiefs, the Seahawks, and the Lions. You had to win 1 out of those next 3 games. I've already factored in the Chiefs loss. Before last night, I already factored in the Chiefs loss to every one of my scenarios. We have to win 1 out of the next 2. Whether it's the Seahawks or Lions, you win 1 of the next 2, you still have a shot. Ultimately, we have to be 6-6 at some point in the season. We have to be 6-6 at some point in the season. That's what I'm ultimately getting to. Can't be 5-7. You have to be 6-6 at some point this season. I've looked at the schedule and I've identified that the Seahawks are probably the team that we have the best chance of winning against. Does that mean I think we're going to win? No. Does that mean we have a solid shot? Sure, we do. Adam Schefter said yesterday, or maybe it was Ian Rappaport, one of the two. They said on the Pat McAfee show that they don't think Jaden has a good shot of playing this week. So that sucks. And if he doesn't play, we're probably not going to win. But I think the Seahawks game is the easiest game to win out of the next 2. You're not going to beat the Lions. The Lions are hungry. The Lions want to kill us. The Lions are out for revenge. They're coming to our place, 425. You just feel like you're not going to win that game. I mean, that feels like a game where their offense just kills you. They have so many weapons. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff, right? Like, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Do I have to expand further? What I'm saying? I don't. We're going to get shredded in that game. You have to win 1 of the next 2. So, right now, you're 3-5. You have an 8% chance of making the playoffs. You can get to 4-5 if you beat the Seahawks, and then 4-6 for the Lions game. You can be 4-6. That's after 10 games. You play the Dolphins week 11. You have to win that game. There's no excuses. You should win that game. 5-6, and then win. You have a bye week, then the Broncos. So you have to find yourself 6-6 at some point in this season. That's how you're going to ultimately try and push and make the playoffs. But Is that going to happen? I don't know. Again, this season feels like it's not in the cards for us. This season feels like it's a wash and you just restart. This season feels like we're starting to get into more draft content. That's what it feels like for me. I'm not going to post draft content for a while, but it feels like we're starting to look into more draft content. That's what I'm saying. So, last night it was a humbling experience, but it further told you that we're just not ready. The first half really showed that we are a competent team, that we are a team that when we bring the energy, we have a chance, that we're a team that can ultimately go out there and compete with a team like the Chiefs. And it was 7-7 at half. And, the team just, I don't want to say they gave up, but I think they got tired. At some point, you're not going to continue to make defensive plays, right? You're just not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to get a turnover every drive. You're not going to be able to get a stop every drive. At some point, you're just not going to be able to do that. And that's ultimately what happened. The Chiefs just started to run it up on us. And we didn't score another point the whole game after the halftime. Terry McLaurin looked good last night. He was a positive sign. However, Terry McLaurin now re-injured his quad. We'll see if he can go this week. Injuries have just killed this year. Injuries have made it very hard to root on this team for this year. Like, you haven't had guys in a lot of these games. But Debo and Terry looked good last night. I will say that. Those are the positives from last night. Terry's definitely a winner from last night, but still, you lost the game, and that's all we care about. We're 3-5 now, and Giants are 2-6. So, you're one game back from the Giants. Even if they were to tie it with you, you still have the tiebreaker. You beat them week 1. But it's been really ugly this year. It's been really ugly. It's been really sad this year. I'm definitely losing hope, but I still think that there's a lot of game left to play. I still think this season has a lot of time left. You still have a lot of time to play. So I'm not completely giving up. Again, you have to win one of these next two. If you lose to Seattle on Sunday night, your season's officially over. If you win against Seattle on Sunday night, then you still have a shot. But yeah, again, if you lose on Sunday night, your season's over unless you beat the Lions. But you're not going to do that. Again, let's not be unrealistic here. You're not going to beat the Lions. So ultimately, we don't want to be in this situation anyway. We don't want to be in a situation where we're 3-5 anyway. The season's probably over anyway, even if we do beat Seattle. Like, we're not going to do any damage in the playoffs unless we have a lot of these guys back. Like Will Harris, if he comes back, I know he has a chance to come back. Who else could you get back? Like Javonte Jean-Baptiste could come back. He's not season ending. Get some of these guys back. Ultimately, the guys that are out for the year are big pieces of this team, and we're just not going to have them for the rest of the year, obviously. So most of this is a wash until next season. But we'll see if we can do it against the Seahawks. Yesterday was definitely pain. But again, we can't say that we didn't expect that. We expected this to be a type of game where you get blown out, where you don't really have a shot. And so I hate that they gave me false hope. I hate that it was 7-7 and a half. But it is what it is. The team tried their best, and they tried. Dan Quinn tried his best to go out there and win. But it's just not, you can't do it, right? Marcus was all right. Marcus took a few sacks he couldn't. I mean, he's good for a backup. Let's not lie to ourselves here. Marcus is very good for a backup. Mariota's been very good this year. Like, I don't even care that he lost last night. He's been very good last year. Defense was better than they have been. Defense has to be perfect this week to have a shot at winning. I mean, you have Sam Darnold, JSN. Who's covering JSN? Who's covering JSN? Hands up if you think JSN's going for over 100 yards. Like, I just don't think that anybody's going to stop him. The defense is just so bad this year. So, there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of problems. We're not going to go into all of them today. But you could call this an overreaction Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. Tell the truth Tuesday, ugly truth Tuesday. This sucks that this year has gone this way. I'm really pissed about last night still. Man, if we got that win, I would feel like it's last year. But it's not last year. Every year is different. Every year in the NFL, if there's one thing I've learned, every year in the NFL is different. Every year in the NFL is different. So, that's going to do it for me. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. If any breaking news comes out, I'll cover that, but I don't think there's going to be anything. So, that's the last time you'll see me today. Might live stream tomorrow. Might do a video tomorrow. Always keep your eyes peeled for the content. Make sure y'all turn on the notification bell to get the content. Leave a like on the way out. Subscribe on the way out. I'll see y'all, man. Love y'all. Thank you for the community you built. here. Really appreciate y'all, man. Hail to the Commanders as always. Peace.